All right, in this set of notes, we're again going to talk about triangles. Specifically, we're going to ask the question, how do I use the interior angle sum property of triangles to solve problems? So before we get into all that, let's just take a look. The triangle angle sum tells us that, let's switch colors. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So in any old random triangle here, A, B, C, we would say that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. And then we'll say, well, all right, let's use this fact to find the unknown measure of a triangle angle. So we're going to use this fact to find the unknown measure of a triangle's angle. Let's just put an example down here. We'll make a little triangle. Do-da, do-da. Oh, all right. Now, this is totally not precise. We'll make this a right triangle. We'll call that 35 degrees. Let's say that's x degrees. We'll label our sides here. We'll call them, well, our vertices, sorry, A, B, and C. Notice up here the A, B, and C are actual angle names and just angle names. And here, the A, B, and C are vertex names, but we can also use them as angle names. So let's set up our equation. And our equation tells us that, and I'm actually going to put this in kind of proof form. I'm going to say statement and reason. So first I'm going to say that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. And that is the triangle angle sum. And then, well, we say measure of angle A here, that's 35 degrees. Measure of angle B, that's X degrees. And the measure of angle C, well, that's a right angle, it's 90 degrees. And altogether, that's 180 degrees. And we'll say what we did is we just substitution. So we just substituted values for our, in a sense, variables. Okay. Next up, let's see. We're going to combine 35 and 90. So x plus 125 equals 180, and I'll just write combined terms. I suppose technically combine like terms. But next we'll take away 125 from each side, and we get 180 minus 125 is 55. Now I'd like to kind of circle my final answer. And here we did subtraction property, and since we have extra time, of equality. Okay. Now, if you were actually solving this problem on your own, you wouldn't write all this jazz out here. You would just go, 90 plus 35 is 125, take that away from 180, 55 left over. The only reason I wrote it out this way is because sometimes these problems get more complicated if they have, say, variable expressions in them, and you have to set up more complicated equations, and sometimes it actually helps to actually go ahead and write it all out. Hold on a second. Goodness, where'd that come from? Okay. And over here, these reasons, the only reason we're doing this is because I kind of want you to get used to this statement reason setup, because it's handy for proofs. It's how we write proofs. You're going to start getting used to that. All right, so just to recap, how do I use the interior angle property of equations to solve problems? First of all, this interior angle sum property just basically says that three angles in a triangle, their measures always add up to 180. If we want to find the unknown measure, well, if I have two angles and we know those, then all we really have to do is just add them together, which is what I did under combined terms, right? And then subtract from 180, which is what I did in this last step, subtraction property. To find out, in this case, that the unknown angle, well, it's not really unknown, it's right there, I know it, it's B. The measure of that angle, the unknown measure, must be 55 degrees. All right, looks good.